The basic understanding of filmic narrative refers to films that tell a story. An example of filmic narrative is Harry Potter. Although it may consist of various series, each film portrays a story in which the film adheres to. According to Bolter's reading on digital media and the future of filmic narrative, the proposed answer to this question, can filmic narrative ever be successfully combined with an interactive role for the user, is simply no. For decades, films have always been about storytelling, showcasing a plot, the characters and their development, and to inform the audience. Filmic narrative cannot be combined with an interactive role for users because in doing so defeats the purpose of a televised film, as bringing in an interactive role will require users to utilize their brain, input ideas, and contribute to the film. For an interactive role for the users, mainstream digital media such as games are essentially more beneficial for the users because it has those options for interactivity. The purpose of mainstream digital media, games, is to make an interactive experience for users without having to require the art of storytelling. For example, a game like Fortnite targets a huge majority of the demographic. However, the game has no storyline as it is a third-person online multiplayer game that requires time to improve and focus to deliver the necessary inputs to win a victory royale. Similarly, Manovich states that he understands why there have been many discussions about the possible incorporation of an interactive film narrative. He believes that cinema and storytelling go together. However, there is a possibility that people think digital media can be understood as something that tells a story in a new way. Although it is an exciting new idea to include an interactive role in film, Manovich says that it does not address narrative or uniqueness, which means that it is impossible for an interactive role for users in filmic narrative. Remediation is seen when a movie is repurposed and made into a game. This refers to the transferring of characters, film techniques, and storylines. For example, Batman Begins, where the characters and storylines are almost identical to the movie. Games that remediate films offer players the ability to insert themselves into the game, making the player an interactive participant. In some cases, games are remediated into films. For example, Mortal Kombat, where characters are repurposed, have goals, and the film is divided into action segments. Popular films have always been constantly progressing, and without any additional interactive functions, it still thrives and audiences are still interested, proving that an interactive role would just change film altogether. Additionally, with the rise in popular films such as Avengers Endgame that captivates fans and audiences, it is no doubt that it requires a high budget for production, expensive actors, venues, equipment, and studios deploying lawyers to protect valuable property from fan-made production, meaning that with such a high budget cost, it would be unlikely for us to see a combination of filmic narrative and interactive role for users. Immersion is a technique used to enhance audience viewing and should not be mistaken as an interactive role for users. The use of IMAX, three-dimensional glasses, and virtual reality are digital enhancements that lead to a stronger display of audience emotions, allowing for a greater cinematic experience and immerses the audience into the film, making it seem as if they were part of it. However, this does not interfere with the filmic narrative because the storyline is still under the filmmaker's control. The combination of filmic narrative with interactive role would, from my understanding, no longer be considered film. The reasons are as follows. Films require a storyline, and filmmakers tend to argue that films are only valid with a story that includes influential control from a director and editor. Additionally, mainstream digital media, such as games, are the basis of an interactive role for users. Therefore, this unnecessary combination will not advance in production and will not be recognized as a film, but create confusion when differentiating a film and mainstream digital media.